All right, we're in the final stretch. In 1 week from this moment, you will be on summer break. Woo! So we just have a few more assignments to do. We're going to work on finding area of different shapes, and we're going to do that also through or with algebraic expressions. Ooh, either later this week or early next, depending on what period you have me. Find that area. Oh, I didn't press. All right, so we are talking about area this week. And so I just want to review the area of a couple of shapes. We have already seen this year, but it's been a while. And so I just want to touch base on it before we go into summer as a refresher. So hopefully it won't be totally brand new to you when you get to 8th grade. So we did a whole unit on circles, and hopefully you remember that the area is pi times the radius times the radius. So that's pi times the radius squared to the second power. And we see that in this problem the radius is 11. So we use 3.14 times 11 times 11. And we'll plug that into our calculator. Okay. 3.14 times 11 times 11. And that gives me 379.94. Lovely, so that's my answer. Oh, you can see some problems still on that calculator from my pre-calculus I was doing. So that answer was 379.94. 379.94. When we talk about area, we have our units squared. Okay. When we need to work on a rectangle, hopefully you remember that area is just base times the height. These ones are pretty straightforward, and so we will just do 7 times 3, which gives us 21. And we're talking about feet. We're talking about the space that it takes up, so that's squared, 2 dimensions. All right, and now we have a triangle. If we were to use that same formula, base times height, oh, do you see that little line right there? That means this one's 4. So if we did 4 times 4, that would be 16. But that would include all of this space. And we don't want to do that. So I'm going to erase that. What we need to do is we don't want to take all of this space. We only want half of it. The way it works out with the triangle is we take half of it. So we'll do half times the base times the height. And so we know that that'll be 1/2 times 4 times 4. I plug that in. 1/2, click next to it, times 4 times 4 gives me 8. So there's my answer, 8. And my units are inches squared. Even when we have a problem like this rhombus, that still is going to be, that rectangular formula is still going to be our formula. We are going to use base times height. And if we think about it, this triangle right here, if we were to cut that off, we could actually place it right there. And so it ends up being that rectangle that we have to find the area of. So 2 times 5 gives us 10 feet squared. Here, we have a square, but only one side is labeled. However, if we know that it's a square, if we see that this line has one line over here, that means they're the same. So it's a square. We'll just do base times height. 10 times 10, that's 100 inches squared. And I'm going to actually just go ahead and cross that one out. We aren't going to worry about number 6. It's called a trapezoid. We would actually have to add the bottom and the top together, multiply it, and then divide it by 2. We aren't going to do that, so we don't need to worry about it. So we did those 5. We need to finish these 2, and then you will finish up this second page, all 9 of these, for your homework. So number 7 tells us if the side of a square measures 23 feet, determine the area of the square. Remember one of our problem-solving strategies? Draw it. We draw a square. measures 23 feet. And we know that each side is the same. And so what math are we going to do to find the area? 23 times 23. You bet. I click over. 23 squared. That is just 23 times 23 two times. It's the square up in that last problem. Gives me 529 feet squared. Notice how I'm showing my work on all of these problems. And the very last one, a rectangle is 20 inches long and 13 inches wide. 20 inches long, 13 inches wide. I draw it. Now the math I do, 20 times 13 equals, should be 260 inches squared. Okay, so you have the second page to work on. Make sure you show your work. There are 9 problems to do. There's only one circle, so there's only one more time you're going to use pi. If you have questions, please reach out. Thank you so much.